Welcome to the Legacy Post and Beam Office Edition. What we're going to do here is we're going to show you how each construction phase looks. Now this particular building is getting built by a very experienced 8-man crew. So most jobs are going to have a 4-man crew, which means what gets done here in a week typically happens in a two-week period. Let's check it out. So this building is being built on a slab. This slab was poured about a month ago for plenty of cure time. If you notice, there is no anchor bolts sticking out of the slab because we actually provide all dry set Simpson Titan anchors. That way you don't have to be perfect in your anchor bolt layout. The very first day, the construction crew unloaded the semis. All the fasteners are packed in a shipping crate. And essentially they had several guys putting down the sill plate, measuring the foundation, making sure everything's square and plumb. And then also several people putting the bents back together, bent reassembly. In this particular job, we did 3 on the slab, 3 bents on the slab because we could raise the first 3 without anything obstructing it. Then we had 2 off in the grass. That way when we raised the bents, everything worked out in order. As you can see, these bents are labeled for reassembly. They're phonetically labeled. So bent C, center section, right post, and we have arrow up. That makes it easier for the guys on site to understand where each piece goes. We left the labels on this bent to show you what the labels look like, but before you raise bents, I would actually recommend you taking them off so you don't have to do it later. So I want to tell you how our zero marks work. When we ship this out, these posts are left long. That way if there's an inconsistency in the foundation, you can cut the post accordingly and the building can be level. On this particular post, everything was level, so from our zero mark stands for top of concrete. Because of the 1.5 inch sill plate, we cut our post off 1.5 inches above our zero mark, and now the bent sits level. So on day 1, when we were locating the sill plate, the perimeter sill plate, we were also locating where each interior post goes, and you can see that we have marked it all with a pencil. And especially on these brackets, we actually had them installed before we raised the bents, knowing exactly where this posts go. You can also see that there's a pressure treated sill plate below each post for moisture reasons. One of the things we like to do when we lay out our posts and mark where each post goes on the foundation is actually install half of all of your brackets. So you can install one bracket, leave the fasteners for the other bracket, so when you raise the bent and put it to place, you can put your 3-inch lags in one post and then come back and install your other bracket. It helps you with post layout, knowing exactly where each post go, and it saves you crane time and work. Cranes are expensive, and so if you can get a lot of work done ahead of time, it will save you expense with your crane time. So on our office, we raised the bents with the crane, and what they did is they raised the center sections first and then attached the lean-to to each bent location. One of the most important things you can do when you're putting up your bents is to really brace them well. As you can see, we have everything X-brace. Bent A was the first bent to get installed, so we installed a brace from the top of that post down to the sill plate, and on bent B, from the top of that post down to the sill plate in an X formation. We connected the bracing together. That way, if there's any wind while we're doing construction, the bents aren't going to move. One of the next things to happen is the installation of the purlins. It is extremely important that you mark the purlins while the bents are on the ground before you raise it. It's way easier to mark everything with a pencil on the ground than in the air. So they took those marks and they were able to locate each purlin in the place that it was supposed to go. A little trick I'll tell you is if you have any purlins that are blemished or discolored, put them on the eave of your building, because once you cover it with soffit, you'll never see it. So one of the next things we like to do is install our lateral beams or our lateral braces. This particular design has a bracket on the bottom side, and then on the top side, you can't see it here, but there's 2 toe-nailed construction lags that pin the top side. It really helps with the wind bracing, but make sure to double check your plans because the placement of these lateral beams are very important. So we were also able to get the loft joists installed. These are our fully dimensional 2x8 Douglas fir loft joists. As you can see, they sit on top of the tie beam and they get toe nailed in. It's nice sometimes to have those lofts installed right away because now you would have a platform to build off of if you need one. So to recap week 1 for this 8-man crew, we were able to reconstruct the vents, unload all the material off the trucks, lay the sill plate down, pre-install and pre-mark the brackets, raise the vents, install all the temporary bracing, install all of the purlins, and install the loft joist. So again, we're gonna do this every week, give you guys updates so you know what to expect in your build.